Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekend show. I'm Mal Lee, your host for this evening, and as they say every other evening, hope everyone's keeping well and fine out there. It's Saturday the 1st of August, which means today many of you had your friendlies. Many, I think the whole country came out to play football, in grassroots football that is. Let's just hope that you all managed to get games on. There was no verbal abuse or aggressive behaviour towards the referees. The referees were treated fairly. If you can, I'm not going to say now that you shook the hands at the referee because COVID-19 guidelines came into the force today. So, how did your games go? Not just the scoreline. Hope you all enjoyed it. And I can just imagine, I can just see handshakes all over the country. I'm just wondering, I'd love your feedback, mal@don'ttexttheline.com. You can add me as a friend on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites. I'm just wondering how your games did go today. We've had no feedback at the moment, but obviously you only have to look on social media. How many of you stuck to the guidelines? By the time 15-20 minutes had gone, did you all forget about it? How many spectators turned up to your game today? Because we know everyone's starved of football, especially in grassroots football, and people just want to congregate and get together. And Saturday being the weekend of the 1st of August, it was a nap that thousands would have turned out to watch their kids playing football, because the kids have been starved of playing games, especially out with the parents, out with the managers, with the friends, and they couldn't wait to get together. Now, I was out and about on Thursday, driving to Warrington, and we all know it's the schools, it's the kids' holidays, if you can say that at the moment, and we just saw loads, or I did, loads and loads of kids playing football. I couldn't believe it. This is very early in the morning on my way to work, and this is before the friendly games had been put into force, which is obviously today. So I'm just wondering who was responsible. There must have been 25 kids, I'd say, watching them. Okay, I'd say under 13s, 14s, they're all just playing a game. There's nothing wrong with playing a game. The kids just couldn't wait. Maybe they got mixed messages, but surely the mums and dads must have said to them, no, games can't commence till Saturday. You'll be under your strict guidance of the coaches for COVID-19. Obviously it hasn't worked. So what has happened today? Now, guidelines, there's a lot of guidelines in there, and I just cannot see, and I've had this chat with one or two people, cannot see that every single club has got the guidelines in place before Saturday the 1st of August, which is today. And you have friendly games maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe you didn't have any games, but I should imagine there'll be teams out there playing 2 games, 3 games over the weekend to big catch up, to get the kids together, to negotiate, to coach them and just get them in the mood of playing football yet again. But no doubt those kids would have been playing football somewhere. Anyway, what are your thoughts? What's your feedback? How did things go? Officially from your committee members and your club, how did you put the guidelines into place? What was practice like? Did everyone adhere to them? Did everyone get mixed up with them? Were people questioning each other? Were you unsure about what was happening? What about you referees out there? How did you find it? What was it like? Did you take in the guidelines that was put out last night? I know many of you said you received them, and many of you said you didn't receive them. So what was it like going over them, trying to take them in? Because people would be telling each other, this is what you do, that's not what you do, this is what you do, and a lot of confusion is going to happen. Because we, as I said, we were talking about many teams before, when you were supposed to have a first aid on the touchline, didn't even have a first aid kit, because it's grassroots football, and hey ho, if you're playing in a hub, they'll have their own first aid, let's use them. And people do tend to get lazy in grassroots football. Now, I'm not saying it was your club, I'm not saying it was your team, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of feedback by teams who had friendlies who said they didn't have a thing in place. What about your insurance, your public liability? You know, I was asking yesterday, does anyone know any cheap security firms that could, not security firms, insurance firms that could put cheap insurance together for the other teams who are struggling to find them? Maybe you're a team that haven't bothered starting on the 1st of August and are just waiting a later date in August to start your friendly games. We'd love your feedback, we'd love to hear from you, definitely would, just to see how things went on the first day. Now, many clubs out there, there's big clubs out there, and I know for a fact they wouldn't play games unless they had the COVID-19 guidelines in actual effect, because a lot of parents are going to be unsure. A lot of parents would not turn up, but then again, if your child's playing football, you want to turn up to see what it's like around about. What was the spectators, right? Because we have groups of 6 allowed on the pitch, and I'm sure it was 30, including spectators, including managers, coaches, the referees. Now, come on, feedback again. How many? 50, 60, 70 all turn out to watch friendly games? Give us the feedback, because we just don't know how this is going to be policed, do we? Now, we're saying this because at the moment there's still a lot of staff in county FAs right across the country still furloughed, so they won't be out and about. Why would they be? You know, we're not out and about at the moment because we want to just see the feedback on social media, and obviously I'll get a lot of emails, private emails and messages telling me how it went and reports on certain teams and what have you. That comes naturally, no problem whatsoever. So it's pointless us going out at the moment unless the referees are really getting some verbal abuse and being shown a lot of aggressive behaviour on and off the field of play. We do not want to change or chase our referees away from the games in grassroots football. They're very few and far between. I'm wondering how many have done the courses with the lockdown over COVID-19. Obviously, I'll be meeting up soon as I get invited to the county FA headquarters and find out some of the feedback, because we know county FAs have been publicising COVID-19 and looking on the TV and what the government are doing lately. I'm just still confused as to what you can and what you can't do with COVID-19. Nothing's been mentioned at the moment over grassroots football, but there's breakouts in certain counties, certain towns. So some of them are going on slight lockdown where 2 households can't meet together, go into their own houses again. So it's started yet again, and we don't want to see COVID-19, a second wave, coming around, because that means it totally the end of grassroots football after everyone has been waiting. And it's not just about grassroots football, obviously it's about saving lives. But are we all saving lives? What are we all doing on our everyday life? I'm still working in the office studio, trying to make sure that all social distancing is adhered to, and we're, you know, our guests are all happy when they come in as well. But so what's it like out and about? They say fresh air is doing it all the world of good, but hey ho, look at Spain, we all go for fresh air there, everyone's on the beaches, and yet you have to self-isolate when you come back because the outbreaks are just getting immense. And I'm still unsure whether I'm going to Turkey in October, saying it's okay, the hotel caters for everything that we wish for and social distancing is not a problem. But hey ho, wearing a mask in 80, 90 degrees of heat is just not me. I'm sorry, I'll have to break 1 or 2 rules there. I just can't help it, because if you can't breathe and you're sweating and you're burning, well, some take to the mask fantastically well. I don't. You saw me on the show last week where I tried the 30 seconds, I think I lasted with a mask on. As I say, going around the shops and what have you, I've just got it. I know you can get used to them. I do know that. People are telling me you'll get used to them. But this way of life, I can't get to grips with it at the moment, and many of you out there are probably doing exactly the same as me. Where do we draw the line? What do we do? We're all still confused with COVID-19. Nothing is perfect. We all have a duty of care. We all need to watch our children, make sure that they're all safe and well. And we all, as I say, I was talking about the kids all out playing football, 20 or 30 kids playing football, no adults in sight whatsoever. So what does that tell you? What are our kids up to? Some of the adults probably just don't care. So wherever they're going and wherever they're mixing with or whoever they're mixing with and coming back home, mixing with their little brothers, sisters, friends, aunties, uncles, it can all come together yet again, and we can all be totally worried as to what's going on with COVID-19. But hey ho, if you've had your games today, obviously the feedback would be brilliant if you can just give us some feedback and let us know how your games did go. Referees, we're asking for your feedback because it's your first days back, and great, all got paid fantastically, well, or did you? Because I noticed they don't want match officials to be taking cash, card only, bank accounts given out, and maybe you're going to get paid then, but once the game's over, will the referees be chasing money? I know there's a County FA app, they can all get paid into that for your friendlies, but would you want that? How long would you be waiting to get paid out? Everything's confusing. We all like to get money cash in hand, don't we? If we've earned it and we're waiting for it. And I don't mean by working on the side or anything like that. No, cash is cash. Are we going to do away with cash? Because I'm hearing people are going out into the town centres, getting stopped on the doors, temperatures being taken, refused cash, you have to pay by card. There's not many taking the cash, so is cash useless now? I don't know. I really don't know. This is the confusing part of what I'm saying. And many of you out there will probably be nodding your heads and saying the same thing. We need to get this into perspective. We need to get some form of order, please, so we all know what direction we are walking into. Not just grassroots football. It must be confusing there, and it must have been confusing for you today. And I'm not saying that Don't Cross the Line will not be out and about over the next few days or even next weekend, because I've got loads and loads of work to do. Honestly, it's just been work in Warrington. When I'm coming home, I'm working in the studio, trying to get it right, trying to make it good for yourselves. And we know it will go through the roof very soon, but we don't want grassroots football to end. We'll have loads of guests coming in, we'll have loads of feedback, we'll have loads of thoughts, news and views coming in. As you can see in the background, that's what we're all about, news and views in grassroots football. So we love it, we would love feedback from the horse's mouth directly. Okay, we'll be out and about and taking some interviews. We'll be getting your thoughts from the touchlines, because we have DXTL TV from the touchlines here as you're watching on YouTube. So there you go. I've got a great face for radio, so I've been told. Okay, but I've got to go YouTube, and I've got to try and get all our guests filmed as well. And I'm waiting for these camera lads to come in and see me and discuss our next move, where we can have something like Zoom, where you're going to one to another, like dead professional, like film stars, like actors, like actresses. That's the way we want Don't Cross the Line from the touchlines and DXDL TV. We're really looking forward to the new setup that's coming very shortly. I know it's been promising, but come on, I've just waited for a tin of paint off Amazon for nearly a week. Okay, why am I going to Amazon to get it? Because it was some sort of special paint, and I'll show you what I mean about that, because I've had units built from scratch. Yes, from scratch, and I've been painting them, sanding them down, painting them, sanding them down, making them look perfect, and I'll show you that when you see the finished article. So it's been busy, it really has, and as I say, I'm almost there. Please bear with me. Colin Fulton, bear with me, and I'll promise you to come in on the show and have a good chat. And I know you're eager to come in. That will happen very soon indeed. You'll probably be our first guest, and I want your feedback on what you see, what you look at, because it's been a difference since you've come in to the studio with your grandson, and it was brilliant. This is, I think, just as the lockdown was coming into force, I think it was. We were unsure. So you can see where we are up to with our guests. Now, we want your feedback. Mums and dads, aunties, uncles, if you want to come on the show, mal@don'ttexttheline.com. As you all know, add me as a friend on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social network sites. And happy birthday to everyone who's been putting posts up. Even Tony Mallon, it was his birthday the other day, he hasn't responded. I put a message on his post. He was 21, I think, weren't you, Tom? 21 he was. And I put a message on his post telling him how, I wish him a happy birthday, and I hope he gets loads of cards, and maybe it all be read, because he's given them out over the last few years, plenty of them, hasn't he? So what's it like to get red cards back for your birthday? Anyway, I hope Tony had a great birthday, no doubt he did, because I saw a message on there, on his post the other day saying he was switching his phone up. Thank you very much everyone for the birthday wishes, and I'm just going to enjoy myself. And I haven't seen him back on Facebook since, so obviously he's enjoyed himself. Tony is a character. If you've not seen Tony refereeing or even out and about, what a character we have in him, and I'm sure everyone will be nodding their heads in agreement with me, especially the ones who see him with Jeffrey Humble. He is a real character, and he just throws out jokes, even when he's getting verbal abuse. Believe me, he's a very experienced referee. Sometimes you can take it the wrong way though with Tony, and he'll just look at you, he'll really glare at you. You don't know whether he's serious or whether he's joking around. He's that type of referee, and he's been refereeing for many, many years. And I remember interviewing him one day, and he was all up for it, and as soon as I kept the camera rolling, the mic out, and I asked him a question. The first question was, Tony, you know, why do you referee? And he just said, to get away from the missus. This is the way it was, and you really have to force him to talk. He just takes the mick out of you, and I tell you what, we'll have him on, and we'll have him in the studio, but it'll be hard going, I assure you. Anyway, we meet loads of characters and referees out there, so good luck to all you referees. I hope you've got plenty of money in your pockets, if you can get cash, and you're all getting in the swing of things now. You've all put the pasties down, the big pies down, like myself, and you start to try and get yourself back into some sort of order, because a lot of people were putting their feet up, and I see loads of posts as well. Thomas Keaton, and I know you're now on your diet as well, you're putting your posts up and you're saying you've had enough, you're going to cut down. He lost something like 10 stone in 12 months, don't know what he was doing, won't give the secret away. Let us all know please, Thomas, and good luck to you, mate, and we can't wait to see you in the studio with all that gear that you're getting me. Another one there, Thomas, come on mate, get in touch with me, mal@don'ttextheline.com, but you've got my personal number, so there's no excuse for you, Thomas, and I know you're enjoying it with your lad there and watching him in goal. He's another Jordan Pickford, but I don't know at the moment, because I think you've gone off Jordan Pickford. Looking at your post again anyway, so anyone who's got a birthday, any team, any youngsters, and mums and dads want to give them a birthday wish, birthday mention, and you've got something going, and you're proud of your child, again, mal@don'ttextheline.com. Get in touch with me. Let's look forward to getting some messages out into grassroots football. I look forward to talking to you, to meeting up with you. We know it's going to be hard. We know we're back again tomorrow, Sunday, the 2nd of August. Honestly, the days fly past. Everything goes so quick, and we just don't know where we're going to, where we're heading to, because the season starts in September in grassroots football, as well as the Premier League, or does it? Because the way things are going, we're a little bit unsure with COVID-19 again. So if you've got something that's different, and it's something, a message you want to get across to grassroots, you can still email me. Obviously we'll make arrangements for you to come in. Next week should be a fine time if I'm not getting work done here. We're coming to the end of all our work in the studio, and boy oh boy oh boy, I know I have not been on social media as often as I should be, but I will be now, because we know there'll be posts going up there, ref spec post, because we have to respect our referees, don't we? Yes we do, because without the referee we know there is no game. Friendlies, that referee becomes the kingpin, that referee becomes the hero, because you need a referee for your friendlies. You're searching high and low, but when it comes to the season, you can't stand these referees. Come on folks, get your facts right. These referees are there to do a job, to give your kids a game of football, as well as the committees. I'd like to know from you as a committee member, just how busy it's been for yourselves, getting things organised, and how busy it's going to be for you in September. But you've had a long, long time to do it, haven't you? If you're still going to be part of a committee, have you just had enough? We'd like to know how many players, how many committee members, how many teams have just given up, and referees have just given up, and coaches. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget, mal@don'ttextheline.com. I'm waiting to hear what you have to say. In the meantime, thank you very, very much indeed for tuning into the Grassroots Show. We'll be back again tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So from myself, Mal Lee and all the team here at the Grassroots Show, don't cross the line, and respect, maybe tomorrow, we wish you a good night. Put your feet up, relax. Good night, God bless.